Russian strikes killed 9 people and gave last night 144 battles took place on the front lines as the Ukraine-Russia war grinds on with no end in sight. The U.S. president is getting frustrated. He has a clear message for Zelensky. Get the deal done in a few minutes. Amid stalled Ukraine-Russia négociations. A visibly frustrated President Donald Trump lashed out at Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky on April 23rd, accusing him of boasting. After Zelensky firmly declared that Kyiv would never recognize Crimea as Russian territory, he can have peace or he can fight for another 3 years before losing the whole country. Trump wrote on Truth Social, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is boasting on the front page of the Wall Street Journal that Ukraine will not legally recognize the occupation of Crimea. There's nothing to talk about here. This statement is very harmful to the peace negotiations with Russia in that Crimea was lost years ago under the auspices of President Barack Hussein Obama and is not even a point of discussion. Nobody is asking Zelensky to recognize Crimea as Russian territory. But if he wants Crimea, why didn't they fight for it 11 years ago when it was handed over to Russia without a shot being fired? It's inflammatory statements like Zelensky's that makes it so difficult to settle this war. He has nothing to boast about. The situation for Ukraine is dire. He can have peace or he can fight for another 3 years before losing the whole country. I have nothing to do with Russia, but have much to do with wanting to save on average 5,000 Russian and Ukrainian soldiers a week who are dying for no reason whatsoever. The statement made by Zelensky today will do nothing but prolong the killing field, and nobody wants that. We have very close to a deal, but the man with no cards to play should now finally get it done. I look forward to being able to help Ukraine and Russia get out of this complete and total mess that would have never started if I were president. Speaking at the White House, Trump also said he found it harder than expected to work with Ukrainian leader. Other administration officials said earlier in the day that a deal remained elusive and that the United States could walk away from peace talks in the absence of quick progress.
And if I can solve it because of a certain ability, that would be great. And if it doesn't happen, I will say that I think Russia is ready, and a lot of people said Russia wanted to go for the whole thing, and I think we have a deal with Russia. We have to get a deal with Zelensky, and I hope that Zelensky, I thought it might be easier to deal with Zelensky. So far it's been harder, but that's okay. It's all right. But I think we have a deal with both. I hope they do it because I'm looking to save, and we spend a lot of money, but this is about a lot of humanity. This is the worst. I get the pictures, the satellite pictures. I've never seen anything like it of the fields after some of these battles. It's horrible that it's going for nothing. We would have never had this problem. You would have never had that war if I were president. I guarantee you that. And for 4 years you didn't have it.
Are you hoping to meet with Vladimir Putin in Saudi Arabia?
It's possible, but most likely not. I think we'll meet with him shortly thereafter, though.
The president's frustrated. His patience is running very thin. He wants to do what's right for the world. He wants to see peace. He wants to see the killing stop. But you need both sides of the war willing to do that.
If the president's frustrated, his patience is running very thin. He wants to do what's right for the world. He wants to see peace. He wants to see the killing stopped. But you need both sides of the war willing to do that. And unfortunately, President Zelensky seems to be moving in the wrong direction.
After Trump's post, the Ukrainian president said that talks in London without the U.S. top brass in attendance had been marked by emotions and expressed hope that future joint work would lead to peace. Emotions have run high today, but it is good that 5 countries met to bring peace closer. Zelensky wrote on ABC's The American Side, shared its vision. Ukraine and other Europeans presented their inputs. Russian President Vladimir Putin had signaled on April 21st that he was open to direct talks with Zelensky about not striking civilian targets. Those strikes have not stopped at a day later, on April 22nd. Zelensky said that Kyiv is prepared to engage in talks in any format once a potential ceasefire with Russia is established, but will not accept any territorial concessions. The government-run Ukrinform news agency reported. Aware of the friction between himself and Trump, Zelensky said he would be happy to meet the U.S. president later this week when they attend Pope Francis' funeral, along with other world leaders. Combined, overnight, missile and drone attacks killed 9 people in Ukrainian capital Kyiv and injured 63, local emergency services said on April 24th. The attack destroyed and damaged apartment blocks, and people could be trapped under rubble, emergency services added. Meanwhile, Russia announced on April 23rd that its forces had gained control of a settlement in Donetsk, while Ukraine reported launching attacks on multiple Russian targets. The Russian Defense Ministry said in a daily briefing that its forces had taken control of the Tarasov settlement in the Donetsk region. Russian forces also repelled multiple Ukrainian attacks and launched offensives, struck Ukrainian military airfields, military industrial enterprises, UAV workshops, and warehouses. Temporary deployment posts for Ukrainian army and foreign mercenaries across 147 regions as well, said the ministry that a total of 166 Ukrainian drones were shot down by the Russian air defense system, according to the briefing. Meanwhile, the General Staff of the Ukrainian Armed Forces reported on April 23rd that 144 battles took place on the front lines over the past 24 hours. With Trump's patience wearing thin and peace talks dragging on without resolution, Washington's message to Kyiv is growing clearer by the day.